Welcome back to These Things Are Written on this Monday. Glad that you're joining us as we continue to follow Israel and Moses after God led them out, delivered them from the hand of the Egyptians at the Red Sea, and how he will continue to lead them today and provide for them in an amazing way. Let's continue by just jumping in with chapter 16. They set out from Elim, and all the congregation of the people of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after they had departed from the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the people of Israel said to them, "Would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the meat pots and ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." First of all, let's take a look at the map. Looking at a larger part of the map, we see where this is after they left, we think, the region where they crossed through the Red Sea. And again, most of these places are not exactly known, but the general location is thought of to be in that area. Most likely they are covered with a little bit of sand right now. But this is the area, and as we zoom in a little bit closer, you'll see the area of Elim and the wilderness of Sin, all in that area on the Sinai Peninsula. Second, as we notice, what are they doing? They are grumbling again. The third time, if I counted right, that they have grumbled against the Lord. First of all, that they were going to die at the Red Sea. Second of all, because they were thirsty. Now it's because they're hungry. Let's check out God's response through Moses, verse 4. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I am about to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. On the sixth day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather daily." So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, "At evening you shall know that it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, because he heard your grumbling against the Lord. For what are we that you grumble against us?" And Moses said, "When the Lord gives you in the evening meat to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, because the Lord has heard your grumbling, that you grumble against him. What are we? Your grumbling is not against us, but against the Lord." Again, God is showing the gifts that he will give to them, how he will provide for them, not just water, not just protection, but also food that they would be able to eat. He's going to provide this bread in a great way. And as we look forward, as we make the connection to the New Testament, this is one of those, John chapter 6, the people were talking about how Moses fed them from the bread of heaven in the wilderness after Jesus fed the 5,000. And they wanted him to do that again. But Jesus wouldn't do that, because he knew they were only looking for signs and not for the truth. But anyway, Jesus says that he is the bread of life that came down from heaven. That this manna that we're going to read about points forward to Jesus and how he would be the true bread of heaven. That if we eat, we will have life within us. We're going to jump down to verse 27. On the seventh day, some of the people went out to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long will you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, on the sixth day, he gives you bread for 2 days. Remain each of you in his place. Let no one go out of his place on the seventh day." So the people rested on the seventh day. See, the Lord also used this as an illustration on the Sabbath, on the need for rest, to recover. They would not go out on the Sabbath, but they were to stay there. In fact, they wouldn't even need to gather the food to eat. They were to gather that on the day before. On that day, they would not find any manna to eat. And of course, they didn't listen, and they had no food. The Lord is reminding them the importance of the Sabbath, a reminder for us as well, our need to take rest. Verse 31 wraps up some of this information on manna. It says, "Now the house of Israel called its name manna. It was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Moses said, 'This is what the Lord commanded. Let an omer of it be kept throughout your generations, so that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt.' And Moses said to Aaron, 'Take a jar and put an omer of manna in it, and place it before the Lord to be kept throughout your generations.' As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron placed it before the testimony to be kept." I like a testimony to be kept. This is the reminder, those things to remind the people of Israel what God was doing through them, of how he was providing for them, how he would provide for them on their journey, which would end up taking 40 years. God continued to feed them until they crossed into the Jordan River, or crossed over, I should say, the Jordan River. See, God cares for us. He cared for the people of Israel. He cares for us and meets our needs. But most of all, our great spiritual need that is met through Jesus, our Savior. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.